Show.
Hey, yo, how you doing? Got your Sunday video, your Sunday fix. I know you guys looking forward to your weekly motivation. So here we are. I didn't miss it. Getting your Sunday Chonko video to help motivate you for the week. You're welcome. I aim to serve. Yeah. Just some housekeeping, and they're going to show off some new stuff, and then we're going to get to the top 10 challenge from Alan's channel. As you know, I try to participate in Alan's channel, the challenges every week if I can. So, housekeeping stuff. Going to be doing a little bit of traveling, so you might see some Chonko posts stuff from Europe. I think you'll be seeing some stuff like that. Yeah, probably some shorts and that kind of stuff. So it'll be just like, all up in my business. So yeah, some of you are interested in that sort of thing, and some of you aren't, and you can skip those. Turns out you're not compelled to watch anything if you don't want to. Yeah, that'll be tomorrow evening I do a red-eye flight all night. So, is what it is. But, Silver Age video. The video that just keeps going and going and going. And I kind of appreciate it. I mean, but yeah, Alan, Comic Collector Geek, did a response video yesterday. He has a much larger channel than I do, friend of mine, and I thought he did a really good job. Again, I thought Matt did a good job last week of doing a video very specific to Matt's content and how Matt does videos. So I thought his was very good and aligned with, how he thinks about comics, what he sees. So I thought it was very good from that aspect. And I thought Alan did the same. I thought he did a very good job of doing an Alan style video of, focusing on history and teaching people about some stuff. I would say I did mention some of that in the video. I didn't go into a whole lot of depth because it wasn't really the point of the video. The video was to call out something that I didn't think anybody would call out. I thought that people treat the Silver Age as if it's sacrosanct and you can never say anything bad about it. And I disagreed with that. And I think you can say plenty of bad things about about all ages, which a lot of, yes, I know. Okay. Let's get to this. Okay. Yes. Chonko, there are bad covers in every era. Yes, I know. Good God, I know. How many people are going to point that out and not watch the video? And you didn't watch the fucking video because I said the same goddamn thing. Dude. Yes, I get it. Yes, there are bad covers. Yes, there are bad covers. There are bad apples in there. Yes, there are false equivalencies and everything, from, like somebody was saying, do you have an art degree? Do you have an art degree? How can you? And I'm like, oh, dude, come on. Is this so super serial? Yeah, it's so super serial. We're going to do that. And also the thing that I think a lot of people lost, specifically people who didn't watch the video, is that I was clearly, while I was making that point, I was also goofing around a lot. And a lot of the stuff I was doing was to be funny on purpose. And shout out to the people in the comments who got that. Like, maybe I didn't do a good enough job of the funny part of goofing around about these goofy ass covers. These are goofy covers. I mean, nobody's going to say they're not goofy. The rationalization is, they're goofy because of this. Accepted. I accepted 100%. They're goofy because, yes, I understand. And there's some equivocation that comes on. Yes, I know. Calm down. I know. But they are goofy. And that was kind of the point. And then to make a silly video about how goofy they were, while still making my overall point that, no, the Silver Age is you don't genuflect in front of the Silver Age of comics the way a lot of people do. And Clearly, some people have hurt buttocks about this video. Like there are some comments where it has harmed people's butts. Their butts are clearly sore about the video, which is fine. You can have a sore butt. You can have a sore butt. I don't care. And lots of thumbsy downsies on it too, but I knew that was going to happen. Anytime you take a controversial stance, like if you just take a vanilla stance in anything and you never have any controversial opinion ever in your life, then you will never have people who disagree with you. And I knew people would disagree, and I was hoping it would generate conversation, which it has. And some of it very positive conversation, which I would say both Matt and Alan did a very good job of, and some very good points to consider, and things that I hope people watch their videos too. Like I'm pretty sure though most people who are subscribed to my channel are subscribed to both Matt Likes Comics and Comic Collector Geek. I'd say almost all of you probably are, but yeah, I thought they did a good job. I just wish that the other people who maybe came over had watched the video and not just like looked at the title or gone by, watched their video and not watched the original, which was clear that happened. Or they skim through it and they're like, I'm just gonna look which covers is, and I need to voice my outrage. I'm going to complain to the manager of Chonko. So yes, your complaints have been lodged. But I need to remind you to file the form in triplicate at your local post office, and I will get back to you with root cause and corrective actions within 90 months. I promise. Your buddy Chonko. Cross my heart. Hope to die. Yeah, I won a comic. What the hell? I won like a really big comic. So on Instagram, there is an account called My Comic Mania, or My Comics Mania. I think it is. It's this right here. I'm going to put the thing up so you can go see. And it's like, it's one of these accounts where, they have a comic store. I think they're in Florida. I don't know. But it's, this guy has a comic shop, and his, I don't know, younger, like, smoke show daughter does like all the videos. I think she's probably like the social media expert and thing. But it seems like the comic shop is jointly owned maybe by them. I don't know. But they do these really cool raffles where it's like almost seems like almost every week they do one, and it's not many spots. There'll usually be like 15 or 20 raffle spots, and this one was $25. I'll just get one spot in these, and this was for a Wolverine #1, like the Frank Miller miniseries Wolverine #1 and a 9.8, and it was $25 for one spot, and I won. So it's like a $500 comic that I won from a $25 risk, or whatever. I think I've done it. Maybe this might be the third time I've done one, and yeah, so like, yeah, third or fourth, maybe. I don't know, over how many months. But yeah, check them out. And yeah, I won today. That just happened. So yeah, give them a follow and yeah, participate in those raffles, because it's like, I don't remember how many spots there were. It was like 15 or 20, but you get like a 1 in 15 or a 1 in 20 chance of winning like a huge book. Yeah, it was worth it, turned out. So yeah, was happy about that. Then, I think I'm up to date on the rest of the news. But let's show some stuff I got. So more Jaime Cortez. I know, yes, you hear Jaime Cortez all the time. But my buddy Eli on Instagram got in a comic that he knew that I would be interested in, and we negotiated on a price. One of these had just sold. So there's only one graded version of this comic, and it's a restored one, and it just sold earlier this month on Heritage. So we had something to go by, and there's another one in a bound edition. So like where they bind like, 4 or 5 comics together in like a, a volume, like a regular book, it looks like, that also sold. And this is the third known copy, and it's this Otero Negro, the Frankenstein one. This is like one of the more famous ones from this series from the great Jaime Cortez. So it's in really good shape too. Looking at it, it's, I mean, none of these are perfect. I mean, when you get these Brazilian horror comics, none of them are like flawless. That doesn't happen. That doesn't exist. Harsh climate, from an area where, it wasn't like, an area where people traditionally collected comics for a long time, and they really didn't collect Brazilian comics. People who collected comics there were collecting a lot of American comics. So a lot of these were not well maintained over the years due to the climate and the fact there wasn't really this collector culture there. So, then I got some stuff from Yaniv. So Yaniv last week was on Alan's channel and did a claim sale. And I usually watch these. I should know better than to watch these because I spent more than I wanted to. But we worked a deal for a couple things, and then I worked a side deal offline, a trade. So the first deal I worked was for a couple of books he had up on the wall, one of which I'd never seen before, and one of which I've seen and I really wanted. But the first one, the one I've never seen, is this Pioneer Picture Stories from 1942, and it's this really cool war comic, and it's like this cool kind of like black cat in the background, and the airman is like, he's got like the Japanese soldier by his leg, and he's like beating people with the soldier. He's like swinging the soldier and beating up the Japanese troops with him. It was just badass. I loved it. And I was like, wow, yeah, let's see if I can work that into a deal. So the other one that I saw that I wanted, this is kind of a famous comic, and I saw that Steven just got this last month from Yaniv, and it turns out Alan got one from Yaniv as well. But I mean, both theirs are higher grade, but it kind of led me to be able to think that I could make a deal with these two and work something out. And Yaniv did a great deal with me. This is Dynamic Comics number 9, and it's a Mac Raboy cover. Yeah, it's the cool like spaceship guns and coolness. Yeah, it's kind of a famous comic. It's a 0.5 because it is missing the centerfold. So yeah, missing the centerfold, and the 11th wrap is detached. Otherwise though, it presents pretty well for a 0.5. I mean, like a lot of times 0.5 there'll be like stuff ripped out of it or something. Nothing like that. Like, both the covers are fine. It's just the incomplete part of it that you're getting the 0.5. So I was happy about that. Then Yaniv had it was kind of toward the end. I saw a couple other things I wanted, but I was going to talk to him later. Right at the end of the stream, he's like, oh yeah, hey, I got this box of Brazilian horror comics too. And I'm like, oh man, because he knows that's my thing. And I was like, man, I don't know if that was on purpose, but then right away I know I have to get more. So, but this is not a Jaime Cortez. It was just so cool. But it is this really, really cool Brazilian horror comic, and it's in really, really good shape. But it's this Mundo de Sobras. And it's this weirdo monster with the knife who's missing a leg, and he's holding a severed leg, and there's like this trap door with all of these body parts and skulls down there. Really, really cool painted cover. Yeah, I thought this was fantastic. So, but yeah, really, really cool. And then he had a couple other Cortez books. This is another Otero Negro. I have to look the numbers up on these. These are it doesn't appear on the front cover, but the Great Jaime Cortez. This one's not in great shape, and it is trimmed. I didn't realize it was trimmed until I got it in hand, but it is trimmed, significantly trimmed. But I was able to work a pretty good deal on these. But the third one is the one that's really, really cool. This is the coolest of the three. It has a spine roll and some rust on the staples and stuff, but it's just phenomenal. It's this Pit in the Pendulum cover. Look at the face and everything. It's just really cool. And the rats. But yeah, this one I thought was amazing. Like, this one I had to have. Like, of the three, this was the biggest one for me to get. And I think overall it's in good shape. The staples are not all that rusted. There's a little bit of rust on them that might be able to be treated, and then the spine rail would need to be treated, I think. But it looks really good. And the last thing I got from Univ, we'll wait for just a second, but I got something off Heritage. I did get another Cortez book off of Heritage, and it's this Gato Preto number 52. This is from 1963, so it's later on Cortez, but he's almost looks like Salvador Dali kind of stuff, I think, on this one. Really, really weird. It's like this house with this underneath part of it, and this weird guy with things going in and out of his eyes, like the branches are growing in and out of him. But yeah, very cool. Very cool. Jaime Cortez cover. As you know, that happens to kind of be my thing. So, the last thing that I got was this. Haven't opened it yet. I took it out of the box. But I worked a trade. And I'm going to show you what I traded, because you know me, I'm I tell you guys probably more than I need to tell anyone, but I traded this, my Fantastic 448, and I traded this Batman, what was it, number 189, the first Silver Age appearance of Scarecrow. And what did I get for those two comics? You're right. It's going to be something significant. I owned that FF48 for many years. I probably owned that for like 20 something years, maybe 30 years. I owned that, and I got it graded last year, and I got the cool Fantastic Four label on there. So yeah, it was a cool book. But again, those are things that can be replaced. And what I've been trying to do is trade cool things that can be replaced for things that are irreplaceable. Because I think that's smart, and I think as I've been talking more and more to people like Doc or Yaniv or Steven, being able to move things that you that are cool, but are still things that are fairly common. You can get a Fantastic 448 right now. You can go buy one. There are plenty online right now, and you can get pretty much any Batman, outside of the Golden Age, you can get right now. But yeah, Silver Age Batman you can get whenever you want. Many people have them up for sale. What I got is this. And, alright. I know. Yes, I know, you realize it's original art. It is original art. Yes. And I need a minute to take it in here. Oh boy. Okay. It is framed. And so it's even taped here. I don't think you can kind of see all this, but let me make sure it's all painter's tape. This is badass. So, this is an original Green Lantern from Martin O'Dell. This is the creator of Golden Age Green Lantern. And he did this. This is in, it looks like it's in marker. like pen colored with marker. It looks like, and looks like it's to Tony with best regards from Martin O'Dell in 1995. But yeah, and he's saying, "Hi, Green Lantern. Goytrude is waiting for me to get into action with you. What's going on?" He's saying, "Dolby, the bad characters are hiding out. We'll take care of them, pal. Stick around." But yeah, so original art of Green Lantern by the creator of Green Lantern. So yeah, thoughts, concerns, considerations. I think this was well worth it. I think this was worth what I traded. So anyway, I don't think too many people will be butthurt about that, would they? I mean, if you are, you really need therapy or something. You're gonna trade you're gonna trade Silver Age. You're trading Silver Age because you hate this. Yeah, I got it. You're very funny. You're very, very funny. So yeah, we're still on. Let's do the Alan challenge real quick. I got a bunch of books all off to the side here. Sorry, but I gotta go through them here. So the challenge this week was 10 books you are thankful for, that you're thankful are in your collection. And I gave it some thought and went with just some books that I really love or that are kind of important to me for various reasons. So, yeah, let's get to it. If you want to participate in this challenge, make sure you're subscribed to Comic Collector Geek, Alan, and tag him in the video. Use the hashtag and tag me if you want to. I'm always happy to watch your video as well. So, first one that I'm going to show is Amazing Spider-Man number 300, the first full appearance of Venom. And this is the one that I bought from my local comic shop when it came out. What was it, 88 or something? I don't remember. It's like 88, I think. So this is the issue that I've owned that entire time. It's not a 9.8 by now. With a clean and press, maybe this might be an 8.5 or a 9 or something like that, but this would never be a 9.8. There's like some little corner wear and stuff. It's not in bad shape, but it's not in perfect shape. So yeah, my ASM 300. Next, this is a book I just got this year, but I did a video on why X-Men number 171 was important to me. I collected X-Men around that time as a kid, and I was like ADD about it. Like I needed every issue, and I was being punished. I was like grounded for something. I don't remember what it was, but my mom forbade me to go to like the local drugstore and buy the that month's X-Men. So I was just crushed and devastated, and I wound up trading for it. Like, it was like a couple days after it went out, and I was losing my mind that I couldn't read it. And I traded a friend of mine, Brian, I gave him like 3 comics that I had for that one comic. Like 3 G.I. Joes or something like that, that are probably worth some money now too. But he went to the drugstore and bought X-Men 171, and I got it at school, and I put it in my Trapper Keeper, and hid it and went up to my room. And I got home and went up to my room and looked on the bed, and sitting there was a copy of X-Men 171 that my mom bought at the drugstore that day. So then I felt terrible because I thought I was pulling one over on her, but she felt bad for me, so she went and bought it. So anyway, important comic for that reason, but I was able to get this year. I was able to get a copy of it. It's where Rogue joins the X-Men. It's minor key, but this is signed by Chris Claremont. So I've got 2 issues of this now. One that it's a raw copy that I think is a 9.8, and now I was able to get this one signed by Chris Claremont. So that was kind of a cool score, and it has, there's a personal story to it for me. Next, just something I really, really, really like a lot, because it's a one of one, and it's the one of my favorite artists in the modern age. But this Mark Spears Monsters #2, and it's signed and remarked by Mark Spears. So very cool. It's the only one like this that exists, with the sign and the Slayer character, and the remark on there. And he colored in the eyes. And it's a cool cover. It's a really cool cover of the creature. So that was cool. Next is one that I just got. You already saw me show this on the video, but it's a comic I thought was out of reach, just because I thought it was too expensive. But I was able to work a trade for it, and it's the Schomburg cover of Wonder Comics #15. This is from 1947, and this is like the airbrush era of Schomburg, which is my favorite era of Schomburg, and I think it's in a 5.5 off-white, so really, really good shape for this specific comic. And I was happy to get this from Univ. Again, worked a trade for some really big books to get that and some other stuff, and I was thrilled to be able to get it. Next is one of my favorite pre-code horror comics. Another one that I felt really lucky to get when I got it, because I think I got a really good copy, even though it's not the highest grade. But this is Witchcraft #5, and this is a Kelly Freas cover, and it's girl in the red dress running barefoot through skeletons for some reason, and the ghoul jumping out. You've probably seen, there's original artwork that Up and Adam, of Adam from Up and Adam, did of this, and it's like my dog Chonko jumping out, and there's the bones, and I'm dodging away from him, kind of stuff. And so yeah, this is cool for me for a couple of reasons. One, it's one of my all-time favorite covers, and second, the great Adam from Up and Adam did that personalized art for me, and I was very, very appreciative of it. Next, this one's just kind of representative of where I am right now in collecting, and these really, really cool Jaime Cortez books that I've been getting. And this is just representative of all of them. I didn't pull a bunch of them. I just pulled one to say, hey, these are cool. And it's this Sobrenatural #7 from 1954. And it's this cool, like, skeletal Grim Reaper and these other panels and stuff. But it's just kind of illustrates the greatness of Jaime Cortez, the Portuguese artist who worked in Brazil in these Brazilian horror comics. Even the back is cool. Contos de Misterio. But yeah, these are all like kind of my favorite thing right now that I'm currently collecting. Next is a specific comic that I got when I got back into collecting and decided I really wanted to get into pre-code horror, because as I looked more and more at it, the more and more I loved it. This was my grail. This was the grail comic for me. This was like the number one thing on my list, the one I wanted more than anything. Important comic. It's the comic that has been discussed many times. It was like the final nail in the coffin of the Golden Age. This appeared in the Senate hearings, was held up to Bill Gaines, and he kind of minimized it. And then the next day it was like on the cover of or inside of the New York Times. But this is Crime Suspense Stories #22, the great decapitation cover. And I am very, very happy to have this in my collection. I might upgrade this someday, but right now I really love it. I even love the little name tag from Ronald Johnson in Stickneyville. Yeah, cool. Then are a couple comics that have nostalgic value to me. These are comics that I owned when I was a kid, and they cost a lot for me back then, relatively. Compared to what comics were. I mean, they were both, I don't know, $100 or $200 probably back then. So they were very, very expensive for a comic book. One I got at my local comic shop. The other I got at a convention, Chicago. But these were comics that I sold when I was in the military to get Christmas money. and I was able to replace them when I got back in. This first one I got a couple years ago, but it was probably the first big comic. Like the first time I spent, you know, more than $1,000 on a comic. So that was like an enormous thing for me. I never thought I would do that. But it's SM 129, First Punisher, and this was very precious to me when I was a kid. But I had to sell it when I was in the military because I was broke and I needed Christmas money. So I did sold it at my local criminal comic shop that, of course, back in the day would always rip you off. Yeah, I know yours was different, and yours were so great. Yeah, but and this is Hulk 181, which was the other one that I had to sell back in the day. That was very, very precious to me, and I sold it. And this is an 8.5. Mine was much lower than that. Well, I wouldn't say much lower, but mine was probably a 6 or something. Mine had like a little, like a scratch, that you could see like under the U. Like I always look at these and I always pay attention to see if somebody has my copy. I might buy that again if I ever saw it. Yeah. So if you ever see one with like it was a scratch in the U or the L. I can't remember which, but it was like you could see it. It was like a little score, like somebody had like scored. It didn't go all the way through. But yeah. And last is something I got at that same Comic-Con that I got the 181 at back in the day. And this, I've talked about this before, but this is this Mobius #1. And this is particularly precious to me for a specific reason. It is because at Comic-Con in 1987 in Chicago, I met the great Mobius, and he signed this for me. You can see Mobius for Mike, Chicago, 1987, and he did this beautiful, beautiful, like original kind of remark inside of it, and I've owned it since 1987 when I went to that convention. My dad went with me, and my dad, back in the day, he never did stuff like that with me, so it was really, really a cool thing that we did together, and it's like probably the most precious book I own. It's not the most expensive book, it doesn't have a whole lot of value to anybody but me. I mean, somebody, a Mobius collector would obviously, pay for that, but it's more significant to me than it would be to anybody else. But yeah, those are my 10 for this week. Yeah, like I said, be gone for a little while here, and I have some boxes going out tomorrow, I guess. Hopefully I can get those boxes out. But yeah, that's all we got for today. But this is your Sunday video, so you know what we're going to say. We're going to say the same thing we always say. I know, it's Sunday, and the week's coming. And sometimes the week can be scary. Yes, Sunday scaries, and oh man, I don't want to do this. My boss is a dick, or I have these meetings coming up, or, this customer, or this thing is due, or whatever the hell your thing is that you're stressing about. Just remember, you're a grown-up, you're an adult, you've done plenty of things in your life, you've overcome a lot of things, much more difficult things than the work week, and you're going to be fine. It's going to work out. I'm telling you, it's going to be fine. You're fine, I'm fine, all of us are fine. And pretty soon, it'll be Wednesday, it'll be peak of the week, it all, just downhill from there, and you can cruise through the rest of the week then. And then pretty soon it's going to be Friday. You're going to be watching all the fun comic book streams and laughing with the people and looking at comics, and everything's going to be okay. But anyway, that's it for now. I hope you're doing well. I hope the people in your life are doing well, and I will talk to you soon, probably in the form of a short, something like that. But anyway, that's it for now. A little over 30 minutes, not too bad. But anyway, bye.